Hey, Celtics Nation. We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. It seems like the Boston Celtics locker room is on the verge of a storm, and the epicenter of this brewing controversy is none other than Jayson Tatum. Rumors are swirling across the NBA community that Tatum has reached a breaking point with the organization. According to insiders, the superstar forward has privately expressed his frustrations to teammates and management, signaling that he could reconsider his long-term commitment if the team's management actually goes through with dismantling the current roster. Sources say that Tatum, who has been the face of the Celtics since his rise, feels a deep responsibility toward his teammates and the fan base, but he also fears that staying in a team stripped of its core could undermine his prime years. The whispers around Boston's locker room suggest a tense environment where players are uncertain about their futures, and the organization's rumored moves have only intensified speculation. Analysts have pointed out that Tatum's message is clear: loyalty has limits, and his patience is being tested. While nothing is officially confirmed, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation, as fans and insiders alike wonder if the Celtics are on the edge of losing not just key role players, but their franchise cornerstone as well, which would mark a seismic shift in the Eastern Conference hierarchy. The NBA world has been captivated by every move the Celtics make, but recent chatter about potential roster overhauls has amplified the intensity surrounding Boston. Sources close to Tatum suggest that his concerns go beyond just personnel changes. He is worried about the team's strategic direction and long-term competitiveness. Insiders report that Tatum has had multiple private conversations with the front office, making it clear that he needs reassurance before committing to any new season plans. The tension is further fueled by speculation that other star players might also re-evaluate their positions if the team fails to provide clarity on its vision. League commentators have noted that Tatum's stance represents a rare public alignment of personal and professional stakes, highlighting the thin line between loyalty to a franchise and the pursuit of personal legacy. Fans have taken to social media to debate the possible scenarios, creating an online frenzy of speculation, reactions, and theories, all magnifying the pressure on the Celtics organization. Behind the scenes, the front office reportedly acknowledges the precarious situation, though official statements have remained carefully neutral. Analysts continue to dissect every leak, interview, and cryptic social media post for signs of what Tatum's next steps might be, signaling that this saga is far from over and could have long-term ramifications for the entire league. Reports suggest that the tension between Jayson Tatum and the Celtics front office is not just a fleeting rumor, but part of a broader pattern of dissatisfaction that has been quietly building. Sources claim that Tatum has expressed frustration over perceived mismanagement, lack of communication, and the uncertainty surrounding potential trades that could reshape the team's core. NBA insiders speculate that if the rumored dismantling occurs, Tatum's departure would follow, creating a domino effect that might impact other star players and prospects. Observers note that such a move would not only be a major blow to the Celtics' championship ambitions, but also send shockwaves across the league, potentially altering the balance of power in the Eastern Conference. Fans have been vocal, voicing their concern, disbelief, and anger over the potential loss of their star, further amplifying the pressure on the franchise. Analysts have highlighted that Tatum's growing frustration is understandable, given his role as a leader who has invested years in building team chemistry and a winning culture. Rumors have intensified following subtle hints dropped during interviews, cryptic social media interactions, and insider chatter, all suggesting that Tatum's patience is running thin and the basketball world is now on edge, awaiting what could be a career-defining decision. Sources indicate that the Celtics' internal dynamics have become a focal point for league-wide speculation, as Jayson Tatum's potential reaction to roster changes is being analyzed with the intensity of a championship series. Insiders report that conversations between Tatum and management have been increasingly pointed, with the superstar emphasizing that loyalty must be met with ambition and transparency. The atmosphere in Boston is reportedly tense, with teammates aware of Tatum's concerns and front office staff juggling public perception with private negotiations. Analysts have suggested that this scenario is a high-stakes game of brinkmanship, where Tatum's ultimate choice could either stabilize the team's trajectory or trigger a cascade of departures. Fans, social media commentators, and even rival teams are closely monitoring every development, knowing that a decision from Tatum could reshape trade strategies, free agency plans, and even draft priorities. Observers have remarked that Tatum's position is emblematic of modern NBA dynamics, where superstars wield unprecedented influence and franchises must navigate delicate balancing acts to retain top talent. The rumblings have sparked heated debates among analysts, podcasts, and online communities, all dissecting potential outcomes and preparing for a scenario in which Tatum's next move becomes the defining story of the offseason, sending ripples far beyond Boston's borders and into the heart of the league's competitive landscape. The narrative surrounding Jayson Tatum and the Celtics has taken on almost cinematic proportions as rumors of roster dismantling collide with the Stars' growing discontent. Sources suggest that Tatum has made it abundantly clear that his future with the team is contingent on maintaining a competitive core capable of contending for championships. Insiders hint that his statements are not merely warnings, but declarations of principle, highlighting his unwillingness to compromise his prime years for uncertainty. Analysts have noted that if Tatum exits, the Celtics would face a rebuilding challenge of unprecedented scale, having to manage fan expectations, sponsorship pressures, and the psychological impact on remaining players. The situation has ignited fervent discussions across social media platforms, where fans debate the ethics of player loyalty versus organizational strategy and speculate endlessly about potential destinations for Tatum should he decide to leave. Industry experts emphasize that such a departure would not be an isolated incident, but a signal of a shifting power dynamic in the NBA, where elite players assert significant control over their careers. The intensity of this saga underscores a broader narrative about player empowerment, management responsibility, and the high-stakes drama that defines professional basketball at the highest level, making every leaked detail a potential game-changer in the league's intricate ecosystem. While official statements remain cautiously neutral, sources close to the Celtics and Tatum indicate that private discussions have been intense, deliberate, and increasingly urgent. Rumors suggest that Tatum is weighing his options carefully, consulting advisors, teammates, and even former players to gauge the potential impact of staying versus leaving. Insiders report that management is aware that mishandling the situation could result in losing not just Tatum but other key contributors, thereby undermining years of strategic planning. The speculation has created a frenzy among sports media outlets, who dissect each social media interaction, cryptic interview, and insider tip for clues about what could happen next. Analysts have observed that Tatum's stance represents a broader trend in the NBA, where players' voices are becoming more influential, and franchises must navigate a delicate balance between short-term moves and long-term loyalty. Fans continue to pour in opinions, rumors, and theories, amplifying the pressure on both sides, while other teams quietly prepare to capitalize on potential opportunities. As the offseason approaches, all eyes remain on Boston, waiting for a definitive signal from Tatum, whose next move could redefine the Celtics' trajectory and send shockwaves across the entire league, making this one of the most compelling stories in professional basketball in recent memory. The speculation surrounding Jayson Tatum's potential departure from the Boston Celtics has grown into one of the most intense storylines in the NBA, with insiders reporting that the superstar is now actively evaluating scenarios that could define the next phase of his career. Sources claim that Tatum has communicated his concerns about the team's direction not only to management, but also to select teammates, signaling that any significant roster dismantling could trigger his exit. Analysts suggest that the ramifications of such a move would extend far beyond Boston, influencing trade negotiations, free agency markets, and the strategic plans of competing franchises in the Eastern Conference. Fans, meanwhile, have taken the rumors to social media in a frenzy of speculation, sharing theories, leaked reports, and even hypothetical trade packages that might involve Tatum. Industry experts emphasize that the situation illustrates the modern dynamic of superstar influence, where elite players have leverage to shape the destinies of entire franchises. Observers note that while official statements remain carefully neutral, the private conversations reportedly happening behind closed doors paint a very different picture, one of urgency, tension, and high-stakes negotiations. Every cryptic post, subtle comment, and insider whisper is being dissected for clues, fueling a whirlwind of rumor and intrigue that keeps Boston and the NBA community on edge. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Insiders suggest that Tatum's frustration is rooted in more than just personnel uncertainty. He reportedly questions the team's long-term vision and its commitment to contending at the highest level. Sources indicate that in private meetings, Tatum has expressed that remaining in a compromised roster environment could undermine both his personal legacy and the competitive spirit of the team. The whispers indicate that his position has emboldened other players, creating a subtle tension in the locker room as they gauge the team's direction and the management's responsiveness. Analysts have speculated that if Tatum follows through on his warnings, the Celtics could face a seismic shift, not only in terms of roster composition, but also in the perception of the franchise's ability to retain elite talent. Social media chatter has amplified the narrative, with fans dissecting every interview, highlight reel, and subtle gesture for potential insight into Tatum's mindset. Commentators emphasize that the stakes are incredibly high. A decision from Tatum could redefine the team's championship prospects for years to come, influence trade strategies across the league, and potentially spark a domino effect in player movement. The rumor mill shows no signs of slowing down, as every insider tidbit is magnified and discussed, keeping the basketball world riveted to Boston's unfolding drama. The brewing tension has prompted speculation about possible destinations for Tatum if he were to leave the Celtics, with insiders pointing to teams that could offer a combination of championship readiness, salary flexibility, and a competitive supporting cast. Rumors suggest that the superstar is weighing not only basketball factors, but also market considerations, legacy impact, and organizational stability, making any decision profoundly complex. Analysts highlight that Tatum's influence in these discussions underscores a broader trend in the NBA, where elite players assert unprecedented power over their careers and the strategic trajectory of franchises. Fans have become engrossed in endless debates, dissecting trade scenarios, mock drafts, and potential sign-and-trade arrangements, all in a bid to predict the outcome of a situation that could redefine the Celtics' identity. Behind closed doors, sources report that management is acutely aware of the stakes, with every communication carefully measured to avoid escalating tensions. Observers note that the narrative reflects the delicate balance between player empowerment and organizational authority, a dynamic that continues to shape modern professional basketball. As the speculation grows, every minor development, whether a cryptic social media post or a subtle remark in an interview, is magnified, contributing to a whirlwind of rumors that could culminate in one of the most significant off-season stories the league has witnessed in years. Rumors indicate that Tatum's stance has created a ripple effect throughout the Celtics locker room, with teammates reportedly sensing both the gravity of the situation and the potential consequences of management decisions. Sources suggest that internal conversations now revolve around loyalty, competitive ambition, and career trajectories as players navigate uncertainty in a high-pressure environment. Analysts have pointed out that the situation exemplifies how modern superstars can shape not only their own destinies, but also the collective dynamics of a team, influencing morale, strategic planning, and even front office decisions. Fans have been actively engaging in the narrative, amplifying rumors, speculating on trade possibilities, and dissecting every word Tatum and management have publicly shared. Industry insiders emphasize that a decision from Tatum would reverberate far beyond Boston, potentially triggering league-wide shifts in player movement, competitive balance, and team-building strategies. Observers note that the combination of private discussions, subtle public cues, and media speculation has created an environment where every move is magnified and every comment analyzed for hidden meaning. As anticipation builds, the Celtics organization faces an extraordinary challenge, retaining one of the league's premier talents while managing expectations, internal dynamics, and the swirling rumors that have transformed what might have been an ordinary offseason into a narrative with enormous implications for the NBA landscape. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.